we're going to recap AEW All In from this past Sunday. London, England, Wembley Stadium. We know that AEW is not going back to London for All In next year. They're returning in 2026. Some would lead you to believe that WWE is booking Wembley and has told Wembley, hey, you can't have AEW. So Wembley smartly said, okay, sounds good. That's neither here nor there, though. Attendance was down this year, Jared, at AEW All In. Last year, they proudly displayed that their actual attendance was 81,000 and the most people at a wrestling event in history. This year, 53,000. So I'll let you take what you want with that. But it's not all bad. There were some high points of the show. Sting showed up, man. For after months of being retired, Sting showed up.
Sting!
Stinger showed up.
Did Tony say it?
I don't know.
I was like so lost in the moment. I honestly don't remember.
I haven't gone back and watched the clip. I just saw that he was there. Probably should. Sting, we're going to get the world title in a minute because that was good. Sting, Jamie Hayter returned. Nigel McGuinness wrestled. Ricochet debuted. Mariah May won the women's championship. MJF, what an entrance. Will Ospreay getting a big win. You said it earlier. You watched about half or a little more than half of the show, and you're not a regular AEW watcher. Neither one of us are. But you watched over half the show. What'd you think, man?
Dude, I thought that it had an atmosphere that was like, I mean, it was nowhere near WrestleMania, but you could watch it and see how that could be a company's version of WrestleMania.
Sure.
Which I think is kind of the goal that they were trying to hit here. It felt like a big deal, dude. I mean, the production looked pretty slick. I mean, the fans were going crazy, and there was a lot of fans. I don't care if there was just 50-some thousand or whatever. I mean, that place looked huge, and the way they shot it made it look like it was filled to the brim. So, man, I mean, the half of the show that I watched, I mean, I thought it was excellent for an AEW pay-per-view. Again, it seems like something's missing. It's just not WWE, but it's as close as you could get as far as having a real good pay-per-view, man.
Yeah, I'm glad that it was good. I've read nothing but good things about it, including the world title match. Bryan Danielson putting his career on the line, but winning the championship from Swerve Strickland. Some people are saying this is not only match of the year in AEW, but it's the match of AEW, like the best one ever. I don't know if I'm ready to go that far. Again, I haven't seen it yet, but I'm sure it was a fantastic match. What did you think of the main event?
I thought it was excellent, dude. I thought that it was right up there with whenever that he beat, he being Bryan Danielson, or Daniel Bryan, beat, was it Batista at WrestleMania to finally win the belt?
Batista and Randy Orton, triple threat match.
Batista and Randy Orton. So, yeah, man, I mean, it looked just like a second coming of that event. And it was great, dude. The funniest part, though, was watching Brian's son, and like Brian keeps trying to get him to come over here, you know, give Papa a hug and let me lift you up into the air. And his son is just so enamored by all the confetti coming down. And as it hits the ground, he's scooping it up and trying to get it. And Brian's begging him, please come on over here. Nope. Finally had to go and pick the child up. It just wasn't happening, dude.
That's so funny.
But it was an excellent match. And if you're ever going to do what AEW is infamous for, which is having somebody kick out of finishers, this was the time to do it. And there was a lot of that in this match. So that kind of, I didn't like that aspect, but it was a heck of a match, man, I've got to say.
That's one of the things. I don't remember where I heard that on, or if I was talking to somebody. Yeah, I think I was talking to somebody about this. It's like a finisher is a false finish isn't really a false finish anymore because we know it's not the end. So, like, if you hit the first finisher, okay, we're just now settling into the match. You know, it's not really a false finish. Now, you will have those couple of matches where boom, 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 it's actually over in 5 minutes and we're going home. But for the most part, this match, like you just said, it wasn't a real false finish because you knew they weren't going to go 5-10 minutes in the main event of the show and be done.
Dude, Bryan hit him with a Basako knee, and he just stood there and brushed it off. And that was when I was like, oof, that hurt. That hurt this match. But they brought it back.
I didn't write this down, but I think it was a comment towards the Young Bucks match where somebody said the Canadian Destroyer is the new super kick. It's the most overused move in the business. And that was supposed to be one of the most devastating moves that you would see in the business. And there you go.
Yep.
Sad. But in any event, I'm glad it was a successful AEW pay-per-view. It's good to have competition as much as we can rag on them and we can point out all the bad things that they do. There's still some good things that they do. Of course, Daniel Garcia coming back and costing MJF and being part of that and wrapping that story back around. MJF with the Lex Luger gear and Will Ospreay hitting the Tiger Driver 91 and, just all the things. For every bad, there is good with AEW. It just, Jared, I keep going back to it, man. It just seems like the bad is just so glaring. Like, for example, we're talking about this MJF Will Ospreay match, okay? And they had a 59-minute match on Dynamite, what was that, a month ago or so, whatever it was. So they're having a rematch, okay? And you're going to have a different match. And, man, they tore the house down. It was great, blah, blah, blah. Will Ospreay wins in England, whatever. The next match that follows that, you have to think, oh my gosh, the crowd is so dead. We got to go to the bathroom. We got to get some food. We got to recover. We got to do whatever. Jared, the next match on the card was Britt Baker versus Mercedes Moné. Why on God's green earth would you book that dream match after what match you know is going to steal the show? Why would you put a dream match on right after that? The crowd was so dead. Nobody cared about that match, and that is a horrible, horrible booking decision.
I agree, man. But, again, you're looking at a dude that never actually sat under the learning tree of any other, promoter to get good ideas from. Yep. He's a fan who bought a business, who runs it like a fan.
Yep.
And as good as we think that might end up being, you kind of see how it actually turns out looking at AEW.
Yeah. It's just bad, man. A lot of this stuff is just bad. But then, again, the bell rings and you get some good wrestling. Selling or not selling, you still get some good wrestling. So, you get it.